2014s in Division I football will realize one goal on Thursday as they get the unique opportunity to practice football on Thanksgiving Day, seeking to win a berth in the TSSAA Blue Cross Bowl. I'm Dennis Weaver of Friday Night Thunder, here to give you a preview for the semifinal round of the TSSAA playoffs. This is the Friday Night Thunder Week 14 preview. In Class 6A, defending state champion Maryville gets another opportunity to ruin the state title dreams of a Murfreesboro team. This year they travel to take on Oakland, who won a slugfest with Blackman on Friday. Both teams feature suffocating defenses as Maryville shut out Science Hill, and Oakland stopped a vaunted Blackman offense on 4 successive plays in a goal line stand to spark a 20-7 trumping of their crosstown nemesis. Oakland enters the game healthier than any Borough team has entered the semifinal round in the last 5 years and has the benefit of a home field advantage. The Patriots feature great offensive balance with running backs Josh Cunningham and Tyler Black, quarterback Ja'Cory Smith, and wide receivers George Beasy and Kyle Oliver. On the other side of the bracket, undefeated Whitehaven hosts undefeated Ravenwood. Both of these teams have strong defenses as well, but the Raptors of Ravenwood have shown flashes of brilliance on offense. Whitehaven, who has won all 3 of its playoff games this year by 7 points each, is no stranger to tight, pressure-packed games. Ravenwood features a 1,000-yard rusher in Seth Rowland, a 1,000-yard receiver in Van Jefferson, and a 2,000-yard passer in Cole Brown. In Class 5A, there will be a new state champion as Ridgeway stunned defending state champion Henry County last week at home. This week they welcome an explosive Hillsboro squad who enters the game with an undefeated record. The Burros held a potent Shelbyville attack to less than 150 yards in the quarterfinals last week, while UT commitment Vincent Perry had 2 rushing touchdowns for the Burros. The Roadrunners of Ridgeway rolled up 450 yards of offense behind senior running back Earl Harrison, who scored 3 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. In the East, defending state runner-up Knoxville West knocked off unbeaten South Doyle on Friday and will now face unbeaten Ray County. These 2 teams rely heavily on the run, with each doing it a little differently. West will use the quarterback in the shotgun, come at you with a zone read, featuring quarterback Seth Marshall and running back Nathan Cottrell, who each had 2 touchdowns last week. The homestanding Eagles of Ray County will feature a wing T offense, which has produced 2 1,000-yard rushers in Zach Doust and sophomore Cody Beist. In Class 4A, defending state champion Fulton is searching for their 3rd straight championship ring as they travel to take on undefeated Loudon. Falcon senior quarterback Adam Diggs has nearly 1,800 yards passing and 30 touchdowns on the season. Junior running back Deontay Tate has 15 rushing touchdowns, while senior wide receiver KJ Roper has 12 receiving touchdowns to lead a Fulton team looking for its 35th straight win. Loudon is led by dual-threat quarterback Travis Brewer. In the bottom bracket, the Firebirds of Pearl Cone head to Memphis to take on Trezevant. Pearl Cone senior running back Keyshawn Vaughn has rushed for 2,355 yards and 40 touchdowns on the year. The Bears of North Memphis counter with senior running back Jamal Jones, who has rushed for 1,400 yards and 18 touchdowns to go along with 2 receiving touchdowns in the playoffs. In Class 3A, defending state champion Alcoa will take on Notre Dame out of Chattanooga. Alcoa needed 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns to come from behind, giving head coach Gary Rankin his 368th career win. The Tornadoes got 142 yards and 3 touchdowns from senior running back Jaquez Tyson, but injuries to quarterback Mitchell McClurg and slot receiver Keyshawn Johnson limit the weapons available against a streaking Irish team which manhandled McMinn Central last week. Notre Dame quarterback Alex Darros threw for 299 yards and 4 touchdowns, while senior running back Austin Banks rushed for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. In the other semifinal, undefeated CPA travels to take on underdog Milan in Bullitttown in a rematch from September. Junior quarterback Landon Walker had 3 touchdown passes last week for Milan and will need a good night to avenge the early season loss. The Lions of CPA feature one of the most balanced teams in the state as they excel on defense and special teams while featuring a balanced offensive attack. Junior quarterback Zach Weatherly has passed for almost 1,700 yards and 29 touchdowns this season to 9 different receivers. The Lions also feature 3 running backs with more than 500 yards rushing, as senior Jay Hockaday has rushed for 17 touchdowns. In Class 2A, Marion County will host Knoxville Grace after knocking off defending state champion Trousdale County. Knoxville Grace rolled up 290 yards rushing against Oneida last week as their defense forced 4 turnovers. Marion County used a similar tactic in dropping Trousdale as they got 330 yards, all of it coming on the ground. Senior Blake Zeman had 143 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, and he returned an interception 66 yards for a 4th touchdown. The other semifinal pits Adamsville traveling to Peabody. The Golden Tide of Peabody played nearly flawless in a 42-0 dismantling of McKenzie. Quarterback defensive back Kendrick Malone picked off 2 passes on defense, one of which he returned for a touchdown, and threw 2 touchdown passes to Kevon Goodwin on offense. Adamsville held Mount Pleasant to 6 yards of offense in the first half, on their way to a 38-8 mauling of the Tigers. Senior quarterback Seth Paul threw for 3 touchdowns, and the Cardinals got a blocked punt and a kickoff return for a touchdown from their special teams. In Class 1A, a pair of 12-0 teams will meet on the purple turf of War Memorial Stadium in Union City as Nashville Christian takes on the defending state champions of Union City. These 2 teams met last year in the semifinals in Nashville. Nashville Christian features a balanced offensive attack as 3 rushers have more than 600 yards, including Daniel Batuli, who has 19 rushing touchdowns on the season. The Union City Wing T attack rolled up 42 points in last year's win. They will need a big night from backs Javante Moffitt and Alex Reed to secure a return trip to Cookeville. Speaking of Cookeville, the second semifinal game will be played at Tucker Field in Cookeville as Monterey hosts Coalfield with a chance to play their 4th straight game at Tennessee Tech. The Wildcats of Monterey are playing in their first semifinal game ever. Coalfield advanced thanks to a touchdown pass with 14 seconds left to edge Greenback last Friday. That does it for the Friday Night Thunder Week 14 preview. Keep track of all the scores this weekend with our scoreboard. Our scoreboard is viewable on all mobile devices and is free of charge and available only at our website, FridayNightThunder.com. I'm Dennis Weaver for Friday Night Thunder.